Hi, hello guys, it's Irish and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so for this video, I will be doing a bookshelf tour. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do a bookshelf tour ever since I've been reading, ever since I have a bookshelf. I've dreamt of touring everyone on what books I own, what books I like to read, what books I've read, what would be my to be read books are. I'm so excited to do this. Right now, you can only see a portion of my bookshelf. I will be showing you both my bookshelves. I have two sets of bookshelves, so I hope you guys enjoy the tour, and that's it for the intro. I won't make this long enough, huh? I won't make this even longer for you. Okay, so let's go. All right, so for my bookshelf, here is an overview. Oh my god, you can see me. Okay, and don't mind my phone right there. That's the first shelf. And this is the overview of the second shelf. And that's the view that you see. And these are books that I have unhauled, which we'll talk about later. So I'm just gonna try and tiptoe to be in the frame so I can help my phone. So for my first shelf, you have here my Rick Riordan shelf and Shadow of Kyoshi books. Okay, so I have the original covers of the Percy Jackson and Olympians, and then the other two books that were published right after that. I'm very smart. Okay, and then I have the entire Percy Jackson series right here. And then I have this Bumblebee speaker that my boyfriend got me for a birthday, I think it was. So yeah, it's part of my shelf decoration. And then I got the Heroes of Olympus here, all 5 of them, and then the other 2 books are just duplicates because I bought a set, but I was trying to complete it per piece. These are all pre-loved except for the Percy Jackson books. And then here we have the Avatar book, the Rise of Kyoshi and Shadow of Kyoshi over there. I love Avatar. I tried for that to come across in my intro on my last video. I hope you guys got that. But there, I love Avatar and Shadow of Kyoshi. I loved it as well. They are displayed here because I wanted my view when I wake up to be my favorite books. So I made sure that I can see the Rick Riordan books that I have. And also, I reread this back in 2024 up to 2025, and I know that I won't be reading them anytime soon. So they are staying so high up. That's the reason why they're on the top shelf. Okay, so on the next shelf, I have, I'll zoom in, I'll pan on these later, but we have some decorations. And then for the books here that are displayed, I really love the Fable, as I said. So I got another copy of it, signed. There's plastic cover on my books because Philippines is a humid country and sometimes there's mold on books and discoloration happens. So I want to avoid that with my books and protect them. And here we have Invisible Life of Adela Rue. I also love this book so much. That's why they are on display right here. Let's put them back. And when I got Catabasis, I displayed it as well. As you can see, I have Burial Bones in the Midnight Soil, but I have not yet read that. It's not on display yet. I don't know if I will display it if I love it, because they won't fit. Oh my god. I'm standing on my bed because the way that my shelves are set up, it's by my bed. My room in the apartment is small right now, so Okay, so for these books, these are a mix of dark academia, books that I really love, but yeah, that's what they have in common. Books that I really love. So here we have Smaller and Smaller Circles by F.H. Otaban. This is a Filipino book. One of the Filipino books that I read. This was a gift as well for my boyfriend. He loved the movie, and when he knew that I was reading books, he made me read this one. And I really loved it. I really, really want to reread it because I read this when I was in college. That was in 2018, 2019. And then, of course, we have The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Yellowface, The Bell Jar, The Night Circus, The Secret History, copy of Babel that I read, and then my original copies of the Infernal Devices. So, the story with that is that I sold most of my books during the pandemic and tried to change all of them to hardcovers, and then I sold them again because of a change of heart, which I will be talking about at the end of the video. And I don't know how many books I own right now. I used to know, but I bought a couple more books before, and I don't know how many it is. Okay, so let's move on. Before we move on, I would want to show you the trinkets that are here. We have Tanjiro. Oh my god. Here he is. I got him from a crate, and I'm so happy that I got him. And then I have a jar with coins, my light ring, my Itsy light ring, I love Itsy, and then some Switch stuff right there. These are the two books up top. Oh, wait, I almost forgot my bookmarks. These are the collection of bookmarks that I have, and then we have a small teddy bear right there. This was just an additional part of my shelves, and I have not yet painted them, so that's why I have to put some cloth right over the shelves. Okay, so let's move on. I'm just gonna include this since it's part of my shelf. You have my PS4 right there. My brother painted it pink for me. I have not used it since 2025. Okay, so we have a collection of trinkets that are pink. I love pink. And then we also have more trinkets right here in a cup. I also got them in a crane. I love playing the crane in the arcade. And we have a picture, we have an Itsy magnet, we have electrical stuff, and then Pokeballs. These are the Pokeballs from the Happy Meal McDo. Okay, and then some trinkets, medicine. Yeah. Okay, and then we have this tumbler. Yeah, tumbler right there. Then we have this little crochet octopus. I do crochet as well. Okay, she's one of the first octopus that I made back then. I love this twine right there. Okay, so moving on to the second shelf. No, I mean third and fourth shelf. I'm so sorry. I'm a bit flustered, as you can tell. Okay, so this is my favorite part of my shelf aside from the ones up top. These are my classics, Harry Potter and Cassandra Clare shelf. So let's dive right in. Okay, so I'm zooming in my classics collection. It slowly grew, and I mostly collect Penguins Classic, but if I can't get them, I will buy Alma Classics from National Bookstore. But I truly, truly love the feel of the Penguin Classics. A lot of classics right now have become a favorite book of mine. That's why they are here. I love them so much. Now we have a small cup. I'll just get that small cup. Okay, so the small cup has some pins in it that have lost their how this? I have lost their thing on the back. So you have a Spirited Away pin. There's Hiro and Haku. I have an Itsy magnet from the album. And then we have Your Name magnet. This is Mitsuha and Taki. Oh my gosh. I forgot the guy's name. There they go. And they serve as a stopper for my classic book since I'm currently reading Anna Karenina. the shelf is filled if Anna Karenina is there, but since it's not there, it's serving as a placeholder. Alright, okay, so for this part of the shelf, we have my Harry Potter books, and we have Demon Slayer, the only 2 volumes of Demon Slayer that I have. And then we have an Avatar The Last Airbender pin, we have Appa and the gang. Here we have trinkets, we have my time turner that again my boyfriend got for me, and then the whole Harry Potter series. So I won't take that out, and that's all we have. They're all in plastic cover right now because I also read them back in 2024, 2025, and I won't be reading them anytime soon. Okay, so let's move to the second shelf. So let's look at that. Pretty hardcovers. This is my dream, honestly. I'm so happy that all the copies that I have of Cassandra Clare's books are in hardcover, because I've wanted them for so long in that format. And here are my currently reading books and some of my to be read books, because I used to have a space for them in my desk, but now I don't. So they live here in the space where I usually display an Infernal Devices book. Like, that's how it usually is. I have one in display. I switched them out because I love all of them so much. So yes. And then here we have Hal and Sophie, a pin. And then we have Pikachu!
It's Pikachu!
And then regarding the Cassandra Clare books, we have the Infernal Devices in hardcover, most of the Mortal Instruments in hardcover, and I don't have City of Ashes. I can't find it in hardcover. I really need to try hard and find it so I can complete the series. Oh my god. I don't know why that's like that. Okay, I'm so sorry for the glare, but I fixed it. We have it in order. We have Chain of Iron and Chain of Thorns. I have not read those yet, and I don't have Chain of Gold. And I want to read them all physically. That's why I haven't read them. I am still looking for Chain of Gold in hardcover. And then we have the Dark Artifices in hardcover as well. So this is the shelf here. Let's do another look. That's my view whenever I wake up in the morning and when I sleep at night. I am so happy with how this shelf turned out. This is the vision, and I love it so much. Let's move on to the next shelf. So here's the next shelf. Let's just look at it. So here's the first shelf. I forgot to mention that both my shelves are handmade by people. They're not store-bought. In the Philippines, it's easier that way to get, or like to have shelves being built for you instead of buying them in the store. Like, it costs less. Okay. So for the first shelf, here we have dystopian and fantasy series that I really love. Here we have the Hunger Games trilogy, and I just got Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes this year, and I really want to get Sunrise of Reaping and do a reread of the entire series plus the 2 books. Watch out for that video whenever that comes out. And then we have the Virgin, and we have Golduck here. Then we have the Lunar Chronicles that I just read, and then Shadow and Bone and Six of Pearls. We love the Six of Pearls duology here. Then we have this little like monster stuffed toy that I got in the crane, and I crocheted a hat. So moving on. Alright, so for the next shelf we have here some random mishmash of books that I also love, but also some books that I have not yet read. Here we have a Squishmallow, and we have Torchic, my favorite Pokemon, and we have Munchlax. Okay. So here we have the Greek books, Circe, The Maidens, Immortal Longings. That's also like a dystopian sci-fi? I'm not sure. And we have Strange the Dreamer. I'm really looking forward to reading that. And then we have like Emily Henry books. I really love Emily Henry. She is one of my favorite authors as of the moment. And then we have Fangirl. Had that book for the longest. Six Crimson Cranes, Emily Wilde, a new favorite, Sorcery of Thorns, and then we have Ali Hazelwood. She is my guilty pleasure.
All right, so for this shelf, we have a mix of books as well. If you notice, the books are arranged by height, and this one is in reverse height. Okay, so we have a couple of books: Akatar, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, Song of Achilles, Anna and the French Kiss, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. There's some spaces here because some of the books that I'm currently reading and a TBR book is there, and I moved it to the other shelf. This is a mishmash of books I've read, books I haven't read. We have Tahara Mafi, This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. The V.E. Schwab books are not together because this just fits here better. Like, it looks good with Scythe. That's why it's here. Now we have Scythe. I haven't read that. Then we have a handful of, no, just a couple of The Throne of Glass books. And then Heartless by Marissa Meyer. And then here's a penguin that I crocheted when I first started doing amigurumi. Okay, so that's that shelf. And here my light went out just when okay. So as you can see here, I have a handful of books that didn't fit in the shelf. I have an extra copy of The Toll right there. I have the rest of the Powerless trilogy. I don't know if it's a trilogy. I think it is. And then a few books of my mom's, which is The Five People You Meet in Heaven and Tuesdays with Maury. And then I have C by Bob Ong. And I used to have a lot of Bob Ong books. I almost had all of them. But when I decided to sell all of my books, I regretted that instantly. And now I'm still on a journey to try and find most of his books. And I hope I get to buy some of them this year. And then I just have a random mishmash of things here. And that's the last shelf. I don't have two shelves, so okay. Okay, so for this part, I'll just briefly show you the books that I unhauled when the year started. This used to be full, that's why there are a lot of spaces down there. We have The Unsinkable Greta James. I have not read that yet, but I don't think I'm interested. We have Sky Hunter and Steel Striker by Marilu. I used to love Marilu, but I reread Legend the Legend trilogy back in 2024. And I don't know, it did not hold up that much to what I was expecting it to be. So I did not have the interest to read Sky Hunter and Steel Striker as well. And the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, I would love to read this, but as I mentioned in the previous video, I get allergies, and I bought this pre-loved, and it's super dusty. I might just read this on the ebook, I'm not sure. And then we have The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. Then we have Daughters of the New Year by E.M. Tran. This is an ARC that I got for free from someone I keep buying pre-loved books from. Then we have Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell, and I don't know who's the Hicks one. I loved this when I read it, but I don't think I would be interested in keeping it. And then we have Looking for Alaska by John Green. Okay, so here we have Fireborn by Rosario Munda. No, I bought this in 2022 and I have not yet read it since then. So I would just unhaul it. It's taking up space in my shelf. Then we have In the Afterlight by Alexander Bracken. I loved The Darkest Minds back then, and I thought I could complete the trilogy, but I don't think I will anytime soon. Same with Warcross. I read this back then, and I don't think I'm still interested in it anymore to complete a duology. Unexpected Everything. I loved this back then, and I bought it, and then I don't want it anymore. Controversial take, I didn't like Daisy Jones and the Six. I hated Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm keeping it for purposes when time comes that I will make videos about books that I didn't like, and it's one of them. So we have Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I wanted to read this, but I'm not interested. Then we have The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. I didn't like it as much. And then the last book in the shelf, all my shelves, is One Night with the Duke. I tried reading it, but it's too much like Pride and Prejudice. And then I just finished Pride and Prejudice when I tried to read this. So yeah, it did not satisfy the Pride and Prejudice sized hole in my heart. Alright, so that is it for my bookshelf tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found some book recommendations in my books, in the books that I own. As I said before, that I will be talking about my books and my book journey at the end of this video, but I think it's too long to include it here, so I might make a separate video about that if you're interested, and why I sold all my books and how I built it back to the point where it is today. And if you're wondering why I look different, it's because I filmed the last part of this on a separate day because my storage was acting up. Alright, that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my bookshelf tour, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like my content, and look forward for more book related videos from me. Let's spread our love for reading. Bye!